Hi, I'm Himani Modi, and this is my assistive technology presentation. So, to tell you a little bit about my client, my client is actually someone that is on my caseload currently at work. Um, and I've been working with him for a couple months now. He's a 32-year-old male diagnosed with autism spectrum disorder. He has generalized muscle weakness, bilateral hand and upper extremity tremors, and attention deficit disorder. Now, for this project specifically, I will be focusing mainly on his bilateral hand and upper extremity tremors and how that impacts an important functional task that he has to do regularly. So, my client has difficulty with fine motor tasks due to his generalized muscle weakness and tremors. And a task that we've been working on for some time is his ability to use a key to unlock a door. The type of key is similar to this. So my client actually goes home after his therapy and there's nobody at home. So he has to be able to get inside using his house key. Now, there have been times where he's been unable to unlock the door and needed assistance from either a neighbor or even his mom. So that meant that he waited, maybe 30 minutes before his mom arrived home. Um, and that's not good. Safety wise, we want to make sure he can get into his home and that he's not just stranded outside. So, this is an important task for him to be successful in. And even though he has shown improvement in his ability to use a normal key like this, um, there are still days where his tremors are more intense, where his generalized muscle weakness is just higher than normal. And on those days, he still struggles to complete this task. So I really wanted to make sure that I could figure out a way to make it even easier on those days where he's struggling more. When he does complete this task, he's struggling most with his hand eye coordination, fine motor dexterity, and problem solving when the key is turned the wrong way. So sometimes when he goes to, unlock the door, he'll bring it all the way down and then bring it all the way back up again, which is relocking the door. So he struggles and gets frustrated. And he's like, why is it not opening? So that's another thing that we're also working on. Now, when it comes to the creation of my assistive technology, what I decided to do first was think about creating some sort of handle to add on to the key. I felt like, well, we're limited to, just our pointer and the thumb gripping onto the key. And since he has generalized muscle weakness and he has, those tremors, having more stability, being able to maybe use more of his fingers, get them involved, would make the task easier for him and less frustrating. So luckily, I had some popsicle sticks at home, and I felt like this was the perfect length to add to the key in order to really provide room for all four fingers if needed. But even you could upgrade or downgrade this. You could start with four, then go to three, and then just use two, and then make your way to the hardest version. So that was my first idea, a handle. And then after that, I thought about, well, I know I want to combine and like attach the handle to the key, but let me use a material that has some texture on it in order to help him with the gripping aspect. So, luckily, my mom is a phlebotomist, so that means that we have a lot of Coban wrap at home. And the cool thing about Coban is that it's this material that easily sticks to itself. So when wrapping it around this, it easily, no tape involved, just quickly wrap it over. And then it also has this, like, it's not stitching, but I don't know what to call it. I guess it is stitching, but it has texture to it. So that way, when you're handling it, it's giving you some more gripping. Once you put it all together, you end up with something like this. where, the Coban has that texture, and you can definitely fit all your fingers on it. So now for my demonstration, I actually did have my client demonstrate this task for me. And I put these videos up on YouTube, so I will need to share my screen. But the first video is with him using the key on its own, and then the second video is with the modification implemented. So just give me a moment so that I can share my screen. All right, so this is our first video. So you're going to notice the tremors, you're going to notice, just the difficulty to try and guide it into the slot. So here we go. So you can see how his tremors affect his ability to guide the key in. And then he does have a little bit of a hard time to grip with his thumb and pointer. I'll show one more time real quick. It's a fast video. All right. So there's that. And then now I'll show you the other video. So now in this one, he's using the tool. You can see how it's a little bit quicker, and then he uses the longer handle to turn the key around, has more control. I feel like you can notice that the tremors aren't as intense. He has more control over the key itself. So yeah, that's my demonstration. Okay. Now to explain how this has improved his independence and participation, he did actually ask me to modify his home key, and I sent him home with like the same, type of thing with his home key, and he's been using that. And he reported that the technology has made it easier to use the key and that it gets him inside the house quicker. He also said that he feels less stressed when completing the task. So, he has had moments where he hasn't been able to complete the test successfully, and that causes some anxiety and stress for him. So, knowing that this makes it a little easier reduces that stress, which is a great thing. It makes it so that he wants to participate in the task now. And I believe that the tool provides him improved self-confidence in order to be independent in the task as well. Another upgrade downgrade that I didn't really explain earlier was that this also makes it easy so that you can label each side of the popsicle stick in order to let him know, well, do you need to turn it this way or that way? So I felt like that was another, we didn't implement that because I don't think he really needs that downgrade. But if, there comes a time where he's struggling a little bit more with that, with the problem solving aspect, I could also implement that. So I definitely feel like this tool increases his independence in this task and makes it easier for him to complete successfully. So thank you. Thank you for listening, and I hope you enjoyed my presentation.